a legacy that soars. At Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, the spirit of aviation has fueled the drive to push boundaries for 100 years. Just over 20 years after the Wright brothers wrote history into the skies, two visionaries, T. Higbee Embry and John Paul Riddle, launched a bold dream: to teach the world to fly. From that early vision, Embry-Riddle rose as a beacon of progress. During World War II, our classrooms in Miami and Sao Paulo, Brazil, trained thousands of British, American, and Brazilian pilots and mechanics, forging legends and fueling victory. As the age of aviation raced forward, from propellers to jet engines, Embry-Riddle led the way. In 1965, Commander Jack Hunt propelled Embry-Riddle into a bold new era, relocating the university to Daytona Beach through Operation Bootstrap, with the vital support of local visionaries like the Cunningham and Brown families. By 1970, Hunt took the helm as Embry-Riddle's first president and launched a global campus network, extending the university's reach to every corner of the world. With a second campus in Prescott, Arizona, Embry-Riddle became a powerhouse of aviation education, nationwide, worldwide, unstoppable. 10 past and present astronauts, over 170 alumni reaching the rank of general or admiral, countless researchers, visionaries, dreamers, and leaders. Today, as we celebrate 100 years of flight, innovation, and discovery, Embry-Riddle is preparing tomorrow's forerunners, transforming technology, advancing safety, and reaching for the stars. Faculty and students work side by side, solving complex challenges, building the future of flight, and breaking barriers across disciplines. Embry-Riddle's 160,000 plus alumni are employed worldwide in the aviation and aerospace industry and beyond. Our founders gave wings to possibility. Now, together, we look to the next century with eyes on the horizon and dreams that reach beyond. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, where the future is limitless and the adventure for our Eagles is just beginning.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the processional. The processional is led today by our mace bearer, Dr. Becky Ludy, Department Chair of the Department of Aeronautics from the College of Aviation. Dr. Ludy is carrying the ceremonial university mace. Entering are the candidates for master, baccalaureate, and associate degrees. platform party. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Diamond Hill Jarvis High School Junior ROTC and the singing of the national anthem by retired Army Staff Sergeant and Executive Director for Worldwide Career Services, Mr. Arnold James.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner, yeah, waves o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Thank you to the Diamond Hill Jarvis High School ROTC and Mr. James. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim Pepin, and I am the Vice Chancellor for Student Success for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide. On behalf of the Platform Party and the faculty, it is my distinct honor to welcome you to the 2025 commencement ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce our stage guests for this evening. Please hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. Members of the Platform Party, please stand and remain standing as I call your name. Dr. Becky Ludi, Department Chair of the Department of Aeronautics and today's Mace Bearer. Dr. Alexander Schischlag, Dean for the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Bettina Marusek, Dean for the College of Aviation. Dr. Warnock Smith, Associate Dean for the College of Business. Retired Major General Jeannie Levitt, our commencement speaker, and Dr. John Wattret, Chancellor for Embry-Riddle Worldwide Campus. Thank you, and please be seated. Graduates, the journey that brought you to this moment is not one you have done alone. The most honored guests here today, your families and friends who have supported your journey on this path, are celebrating with you today. Graduates, please stand and acknowledge your family for their support. At this time, I ask you to please stand for the invocation. Would you pray with me? Wise and gracious one, we ask your blessing upon the students and faculty and staff of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. We have been called to the high task of seeking knowledge, promoting ethics, and seeking growth in mind, body, and spirit. We give thanks for the gifts of the graduates here today and the ways which they have made this university a better place for having been here. We ask that you grant students and families joy and satisfaction as they see their dreams of graduation fulfilled this day. We ask this in the confidence of your grace. Amen. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. John Wattret, Chancellor for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide Campus.
Graduates, families, esteemed faculty, and honored guests, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my deep honor to open this commencement ceremony in our centennial year, an occasion that bridges our university's rich history and a bold new future. Welcome to the Embry-Riddle Worldwide graduation here in the Frontiers of Flight Museum. Graduates, on this momentous day, I congratulate you not only for completing your degree, but for the demonstrating drive, determination, and mental fortitude that has brought you here tonight. Commencement is more than a personal achievement. This ceremony represents a moment to reflect upon the pioneers, visionaries, and trailblazers who shaped aviation and aerospace and whose footsteps you now follow. As you celebrate your accomplishments, we also celebrate the relentless pursuit of progress and the enduring spirit that have defined Embry-Riddle since its founding in 1926. Like you, 1 century ago, two ambitious individuals dreamed of achieving greatness, laying the groundwork for generations of aviators, innovators, and pioneers yet to come. T. Higbee Embry and John Paul Riddle recognized the boundless possibilities of aviation and aspired to create a bold new venture dedicated to opportunity, innovation, and service. From the earliest days of the Embry-Riddle Company to the Embry-Riddle School of Aviation, our institution seized upon the possibilities of burgeoning aviation industry. And when World War II erupted, Embry-Riddle supported the Allied effort, training cadets as pilots, mechanics, and technicians. The 1960s marked a new era for Embry-Riddle as US Navy Commander Jack Hunt ushered in transformative growth by moving operations from Miami to Daytona Beach. In 1970, our horizons expanded even further with the founding of the College of Continuing Education, which evolved into what we now know as the Worldwide Campus, where we are present online and at more than 110 locations across the globe. This legacy of aspiration reached new heights in 1978 with the establishment of our second residential campus in Prescott, Arizona, an enduring testament to our commitment to hands-on education and innovation. Today, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University stands as a beacon of excellence, empowering generations to soar beyond boundaries and redefine what is possible. Embodying the spirit of those who built our legacy, you too possess an unyielding drive to learn, to serve, and most importantly, to dream boldly. Earning a degree from Embry-Riddle is not easy. The demands on the students, whether studying aeronautics, business, engineering, or safety and security, are rigorous. Yet you persevered, and you have been successful. Tonight, as you join the ranks of over 160,000 alumni worldwide, you become part of a global network bound not only by excellence in aviation and aerospace, but by a shared commitment to innovation, progress, and lifelong learning. And you continue the journey that began 100 years ago, a journey that has seen Embry-Riddle become not only the world's premier aviation and aerospace institution, but the nation's leader in shaping the future of flight and space. Graduates, as you go forth on your life's journey during our centennial year, you're entrusted with the future of this legacy. You are forever Eagles, united in the purpose, determination, and relentless pursuit of excellence, ready to shape the next century of innovation, discovery, and leadership in the skies and beyond. Congratulations, graduates. The future of Embry-Riddle, and indeed the world of aviation, begins with you. And now it's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Jeannie Leavitt, a highly decorated retired Major General of the United States Air Force who learned to skillfully navigate uncharted territory after becoming the first female fighter pilot for the Air Force early in her career. Prior to entering active duty, she earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Aerospace Engineering, graduating summa cum laude from the University of Texas at Austin, and a Master of Science in Aeronautics and Astronautics from Stanford University. Additional graduate degrees she earned include a Master of Business Administration from Auburn University, a Master of Military Operational Art and Science from Air University, and a Master of National Security Strategy from the National War College, National Defense University. As a Chief of Safety for the Air Force and Space Force, she developed, directed, and elevated all aviation, ground, weapons, space, and systems mishap prevention and nuclear security programs. She also developed and directed all risk management courses for the Air Force and Space Force. As Director of Operations and Communications, Air Education and Training Command, the largest training organization in the world, she was responsible for providing initial skills, undergraduate flying, postgraduate combat crew and supplemental training for more than 300,000 Air Force, Space Force, joint and international personnel at 65 Air Force and Department of Defense locations. As Commander, Air Force Recruiting Service, she provided strategic guidance for 2,800 plus personnel and managed 1,040 plus recruiting offices globally. She was responsible for the accession of 40,000 plus personnel annually. During her tenure, she built brand awareness for the newly formed United States Space Force. She managed a $100 million plus annual budget for Air Force and Space Force strategic marketing. She is an experienced combat pilot with more than 3,000 hours, including 300 plus hours in combat. She is a graduate and former F-15E Strike Eagle instructor pilot of the United States Air Force Weapons School. She is currently a distinguished National Security Fellow at the Clements Center for National Security at the University of Texas. She is on the board of managers for the National Technical and Engineering Solutions of Sandia, LLC. She is also on the board of advisors for the Texas Institute of Electronics and is a member of the Engineering Advisory Board at the University of Texas at Austin, Cockrell School of Engineering. Please join me in welcoming our highly accomplished, esteemed commencement speaker, Major General Jeannie Levitz. General.
Good evening. I want to thank the Chancellor, Dr. Waltrip, for inviting me to speak, and I apologize for how long that intro was. To the deans, department chairs, faculty, staff, and the family and friends of our graduates, thank you for everything you've done to help them reach this important milestone in their journey. To the graduates, congratulations. It is truly my honor to join you as we celebrate your significant achievements. You worked hard to earn your degree from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide Campus, and you should be proud of your accomplishments. I earned degrees when I was a full-time student, and I also earned a degree through a distance learning program as an active duty Air Force officer. I must say, the latter was more difficult due to the many and varied demands levied upon me. I know that many of you earned your Embry-Riddle degrees while working, serving in the military, or raising a family. I applaud you for the dedication and determination required for you to reach this significant milestone. This is not an end, but rather it is one more stepping stone along your educational journey. This evening, I would like to share some of the lessons I learned through my experiences. My observations fall into three broad categories: time, technology, and tenacity. The schedules of our lives are based on time. Our watches tell us what time it is. But what is time? In physics, time is often called the fourth dimension. You need time as well as the X, Y, and Z coordinates to specify the location of an event. People have found ways to track time for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations used the stars to track time. Later methods included sundials, water clocks, and hourglasses. Today, atomic clocks provide precision time measurements, enabling GPS. In my early days of Air Force flying, we didn't have GPS in our watches or in our airplanes. When the flight lead gave the time hack to start the brief, everyone synchronized their watches so we would have the same time reference. With GPS now embedded in our cell phones, our watches, and so many aspects of our life, we seem to have mastered the art of time measurement. These devices measure the quantity of time. But how do we measure the quality of time? About 25 years ago, I was early in my Air Force career and working on my MBA through Auburn University in what was probably one of the original distance learning programs. To date myself, I watched the classes on VHS tapes that arrived in the mail a few times per week. Now, for the younger generation, VHS tapes are what came before DVDs. And back then, if we wanted to watch a movie at home, you had to drive to a Blockbuster and rent the VHS tape, just for reference. Well, in one of my MBA classes, we had an assignment to track how we spent our time for a week in 15-minute increments. The professor told us to follow our normal patterns of life rather than change our behavior for the assignment, so we could get an accurate assessment of how we spent our time. While we did have cell phones at that time, they were not yet smart. And there were certainly no apps to make time tracking easy for this assignment. Instead, we used Excel spreadsheets with a sheet for each day and a row for each 15-minute increment. In the end, we had 96 rows on each of the 7 spreadsheets. We used the data on those spreadsheets to build charts and graphs, and we created a visual depiction of how we spent our time that week. Wow, that was insightful. The results showed me when I spent time on things I needed to do, when I spent time on things I wanted to do, and when I spent time on things that were just plain time wasters. Do you know what your time wasters are? Although it was a simple assignment, it had a profound impact on me. It made me far more intentional about how I spent my time. Every one of us has the same number of minutes in a day, 1,440 minutes to be exact. Why does it seem like some people have more time in a day? Perhaps it has something to do with being intentional. Have you ever noticed we use the term spending when we talk about time? We also talk about spending money, but there are differences. We can make more money, but the unknown amount of time that each of us has in life is all we have. We cannot make more. Graduates, I know that many of you are leaders or future leaders. Time and attention are your currency. Throughout my career, I was fortunate to command at various levels, leading hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. We had to be intentional about what was on my calendar. I say we because as you advance in your career, the time belongs less to you and more to your people. There's a finite amount of time in a day, and our goal was to protect time for proactive, important work, rather than let urgent, less important tasks drive the schedule. There was a special block of time on Friday afternoons called Time with the Chief. My front office often shifted events on my schedule, but Time with the Chief was one block that was pretty much untouchable. My command chief, my senior enlisted advisor, entrusted to have a finger on the pulse of our people, always had a plan for what units we would visit, but no one else knew the plan. We didn't want people to spend time preparing for a visit. We wanted the visits to be impromptu. In fact, we quickly learned that the first thing we needed to do when we arrived was tell the airmen not to notify their supervisors, or a commander or chief would magically appear within moments. We didn't want curated content. We wanted authentic conversations with our airmen. The plan often included recognizing accomplishments, expressing gratitude, or providing support. But the main goal was always to engage with our people and listen to them. Engagements were unscripted, often entertaining, and always rewarding. No matter how challenging my week was, I looked forward to Friday afternoons when my chief and I had the opportunity to connect with our people. None of us know how many tomorrows we have. It could be 10, it could be 1,000, it could be more than 10,000. There is no way for us to know. My challenge to you is to never take your tomorrows for granted. Make the most of the time you have been given. As Benjamin Franklin said, lost time is never found again. Be intentional and spend your time wisely. Technology plays a key role in so many aspects of our life. It was inconceivable what changes in technology I would witness during my lifetime. When I was a child, there were no personal computers, there were no cell phones, and the internet had not yet been invented. Today, the amount of information available on the internet is staggering. Estimates are that there will be between 175 and 182 zettabytes of information on the internet by the end of this year. For reference, 1 zettabyte is equal to 1 trillion gigabytes. It is difficult to comprehend the sheer volume or understand how you will find the specific information you want. Search engines sort through massive amounts of information to provide search results, and then put the paid search results at the top. I challenge you to maintain intellectual curiosity. There has never been a more pressing need for critical thinking in our society than there is today. We live in interesting times. In a recent survey of children, top career choices included not just doctor, athlete, and teacher, but also social media influencer. That wasn't a thing when I was a kid. When we look at media or social media, algorithms control the content we see. The goal for the algorithm is longer engagement times, so we are barraged with bad news. The system takes advantage of our innate negativity bias. This bias helped our ancestors survive in dangerous environments. But today, the media uses this bias to grab our attention by evoking fear, anger, and outrage. Common ground is ignored, and disagreements are distorted. Any discord in our society is echoed and amplified until the sound is deafening. Find a way to tune out the negative noise. While we have our differences, we also have shared values, like the belief that all people are created equal, and all people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Look for the good news and positivity. It is all around us, but it is often hidden by the media. Stay curious, and do not let an algorithm or media platform tell you what to think. The pace of change in technology is exponential. We have unmanned aircraft, and developments in automation have enabled self-driving cars. Artificial intelligence will undoubtedly have a significant impact on our future. While technology can improve quality of life for people all over the world, it also has the potential to isolate us from each other. As human beings, we are social creatures. We thrive when we connect with others. Now, just to be clear, when I say connect with others, I am talking about real-time interactions with other people, rather than virtual connections. If we spend too much time in the virtual world, we get disconnected from the actual world. An interesting paradox is that networking on social media can be pretty antisocial. People are often glued to their screens rather than interacting with the people right around them. Don't fall into this trap. Choose connection over isolation. When you're part of a team, develop an environment of trust and mutual respect to unlock the magic of connection. When people feel like valued members of a team and they feel connected with their teammates, they can unleash the incredible power of collaboration. While AI is a powerful tool, it cannot replace uniquely human traits such as creativity, innovation, and connection. In our fast-paced and ever-changing world, remember to stay curious and stay connected. Now let's talk about tenacity. Tenacity not only means being very determined, it also means having the mental or moral strength to resist danger, hardship, or opposition. I like to think of tenacity as the X factor, the variable that has the greatest impact on an outcome of a situation. In life, many variables are out beyond our control: our environment, our circumstances, and often our situations. However, we have very powerful variables within our control: our mindset, our attitude, and our actions. Anyone familiar with my background knows that I had no interest in being the first female fighter pilot for the Air Force. I simply wanted to fly the F-15E Strike Eagle after pilot training. In late 1992, towards the end of my pilot training, here was the situation. Congress had changed the law 15 months earlier to allow women to serve specifically in combat aviation. However, the Department of Defense, or DoD, was strongly opposed to the change, and they maintained a policy of no women in combat, which kept women out of fighter cockpits. At that time, students chose their follow-on assignments after pilot training based on merit order, so I would be the first to choose. One of the assignment choices was the F-15E, the newest airplane in the Air Force inventory at that time. My instructors and commanders warned me not to ask for the Strike Eagle. They told me I would ruin my career for asking for the airplane I wanted to fly after I earned the first choice. The situation and circumstances were outside my control. However, I could control my mindset, my attitude, and my actions. Based on my engineering background, I took a mathematical approach to my situation. I assessed there was probably about a 50% chance I would ruin my career if I asked for the fighter, but there was a 100% chance I would live with regret if I didn't. The math told me I should ask for the fighter, but the math didn't make it any easier. Given the situation, I had to dig deep to find the courage to overcome my fear and ask for the Strike Eagle. I was told no. I chose another assignment, and life got rather challenging for the next few months. When DoD changed the policy, 5 months after my assignment request was denied, Air Force leadership remembered me, and I ended up being the first female to fly a fighter for the Air Force. In retrospect, I realized that my tenacity in asking for the F-15E in the face of such opposition was the X factor in the early part of my Air Force journey. There will be times when you find yourself in challenging environments or circumstances, situations you cannot control. Realize you can always control your mindset, attitude, and actions, which can significantly shape the outcome of your situation. Your tenacity, your unwillingness to back down in the face of adversity, can become your X factor. Last year, I had the honor of meeting retired Army Major General Patrick Brady. General Brady is a Medal of Honor recipient from his time as a dust-off pilot during the Vietnam War. During his Medal of Honor actions, he flew through treacherous conditions and heavy enemy fire to evacuate more than 50 critically wounded men. He did not let battle damage deter him and ended up flying 3 different helicopters during his actions that day. Last month, I had the opportunity to visit the Medal of Honor Museum, which opened earlier this year in Arlington, Texas, just 30 minutes from here. The museum took me on an emotional journey, telling the stories of ordinary Americans who took extraordinary actions in the service of others. I found the display for General Brady by the Huey helicopter. His quote on the display said, "Fear is an emotion. Courage is a decision." I like the way General Brady framed fear and courage. Since fear is an emotion, we can't control whether or not we experience it, but we can overcome fear by choosing courage. My challenge to you is to be tenacious and choose courage. Class of 2025, congratulations. You have shown a commitment to your personal development through your grit to overcome challenges, balance competing demands, and earn your degree from Embry-Riddle's worldwide campus. Do not let this mark the end of your education, but rather a milestone along your journey of lifelong learning. To sum up my advice as you embark on your next adventure, first, be intentional and spend your time wisely. Second, stay curious and stay connected. Finally, be tenacious and choose courage. I wish you blue skies and tailwinds. Thank you.
So thank you, Major General Levitt, for those words of wisdom and inspiration for us all. And it was great to hear your career story. And as we would like to demonstrate our gratitude by presenting you with the Distinguished Speakers Award.
Embry-Riddle's longtime support of the military is a point of pride. In fact, Embry-Riddle was recognized as #1 in online programs by Military Friendly Schools ranking. Many of the graduates here today are active duty or veterans. Will they, and all members of the military and veterans who are here today, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Please be seated. At this time, the faculty of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide are pleased to present the candidates for graduate degrees. As we announce our master's degree candidates, you will see that they have hoods draped on their arm. Each graduate will be hooded today by their college dean, reflecting their status as a master's degree candidate. While all hoods have the Embry-Riddle school colors of royal blue and gold, the colors of the satin binding on the hoods are different. Each color distinguishes one college degree from another. The College of Arts and Sciences is represented by gold hoods. The College of Aviation is represented by silver hoods. Under the auspice of the College of Aviation, The School of Engineering is represented by orange hoods, and the College of Business is represented by drab hoods. Several graduates will be wearing gold medallions. These master's degree candidates are graduating with distinction, as they have achieved a grade point average of 4.0 for the entirety of their program. As a group, will these students please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Alexander Schischlag, Dean for the College of Arts and Sciences, to come to the podium.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Dr. Bertrett? It is my honor to present the candidates for the College of Arts and Sciences master's degrees as recommended by faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Emergency Services. Ethan Eric Jean, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Human Factors. Theodora Ambrose Jack. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Occupational Safety Management. Opiemi A. Akinwumi. Micah Jared Marino, with distinction. This concludes the presentation of master's degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Bettina Marusek, Dean for the College of Aviation, to come to the podium.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the College of Aviation please rise? Dr. Watrette, it is my honor to present the candidates for the College of Aviation master's degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Aviation Cybersecurity. Jessica Michelle Stevens. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Aviation Maintenance. Ryan Nicholas Ammons. Todd David Feenstra. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Aeronautics. Faisal Faraj Albrake, with distinction. Nicholas William Antonucci. Angela Natalie Bach, with distinction. Danielle C. E. Baptist. Gregory Dana Barlow, Jr., with distinction. Jennifer Laura Buchanan, with distinction. Ethan Dennis. Titus Maurice Hubbard. Brian Nyaberi Nyabuto. Marcela Salazar. Bradley Travis Taylor. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Aviation Safety. Scott Lawrence Morgan, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Uncrewed and Autonomous Systems. Holden Jefferson Brecht. Brandon Moore. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Space Operations. Nicole Claire Dunn. Joanna Fuentes, with distinction. Daisme Z. Jimenez. Robert Morgan, with distinction. Prince Anaj Pujita. Megan Ray Waters, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. Akshita Jessica Agnell. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Airworthiness Engineering. Elena Carell, with distinction. Marcus Andrew Ross, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Systems Engineering. John Andrew Ayala, with distinction. Alicia Rose Serrano, with distinction. Chase Lee Sizemore, with distinction. Morgan Taylor Tubb. This concludes the presentation of master's degrees from the College of Aviation.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. David Warnock Smith, the Associate Dean for the College of Business, to come to the podium.
So, will the candidates for master's degrees from the College of Business please rise? Dr. Watrett? Dr. Watrett, it is my honor to present the candidates for the College of Business master's degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration and Aviation. Benjamin Roderick Dorsey, with distinction. Shahan Khan. Megan Brooke Cohan, with distinction. Kayla Manti. Adwan Sherrod McClary. Lindsay Lee Miller. Ryan Matthew Spray. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Engineering Management. Bradley Shane Baggs, with distinction. Andrew Kyle Pershock, with distinction. Robert Blaine Wells, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Information Security and Assurance. John Warren McElvoy, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Leadership. Jacqueline Zubia Arevalo, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. John Marshall Bowman, with distinction. Precious N.D. Bryant. Luigi Hernandez. Dietrich Romel Sims. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Management. Alexandria Jean Stroll, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Project Management. Alejandro Contreras, with distinction. This concludes the presentation of master's degrees from the College of Business. This also concludes the presentation of master's degrees.
Congratulations to our master's degree candidates. Regarding the undergraduate degree candidates here today, you will notice that several of them are wearing honor cords. The significance of these honor cords is directly connected to their academic performance. Those graduates who are wearing white cords have achieved a grade point average between 3.50 and 3.69 and graduate cum laude with honors. As a group, will these students please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Those graduates who are wearing red cords have achieved a grade point average between 3.70 and 3.89 and graduate magna cum laude with great honors. As a group, will these students please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Those graduates who are wearing gold cords have achieved a grade point average between 3.90 and 4.0 and graduate summa cum laude with highest honors. As a group, will these students please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. Dr. Schiesler, would you please come to the podium to present the underdegree candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences?
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Dr. Bertrett. It is my honor to present the candidates for the College of Arts and Sciences bachelor's degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Homeland Security. Ainsley Simone Grimes. Peter Toro, cum laude, Omicron Sigma Sigma. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies. Dominic Matthew Cohn Belmont, summa cum laude. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Safety Management. Clifford Mark Coleman, Jr. Tyrone Lavelle Perryman, Jr., magna cum laude. Patrick Kivante Witcher, magna cum laude. This concludes the undergraduate degrees from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Dr. Marusek, would you please come to the podium to present the undergraduate candidates for the College of Aviation?
Will the candidates for bachelor's and associate degrees from the College of Aviation please rise? Dr. Wittret, it is my honor to present the candidates for the College of Aviation bachelor's and associate degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics. Elsadig Hashim Adams, Sr. Reese Diane Aquino, cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Ronaldo Antonio Artega. Jorge Eduardo Baez Castillo, magna cum laude. Jesse A. Curtis, magna cum laude. Andres Daniel Dominguez, magna cum laude. Kevin Romero Escopiso, cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Everhart, summa cum laude. Latanya Joy Glover. Daniel Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Tylo Haney, summa cum laude. Ahmed Ismail. Bryce Johnson, summa cum laude. Daryl A. Jones. Jonathan Largaspada, summa cum laude. Michael McDowell, cum laude. Matthew Joseph Millard, summa cum laude. Michael Lance Miller, cum laude. Brenton Mitchell, magna cum laude. Carter Lee Nolan, summa cum laude. Reese Rafael Nunez, Alpha Sigma Lambda, cum laude. Juan Luis Ordez Mendez. Benjamin Harris Patterson. Joendry Reynosa, magna cum laude. Eric Nicholas Romero, magna cum laude. Samari Doris Springer. Thomas Enoch Stanley, magna cum laude. Holly Faye Stetler. Genesis Tucker. Jeffrey Valentine, summa cum laude. Pascual Vargas, summa cum laude. Christy Vasquez. Connor Anthony Vincent, summa cum laude. Stephen Connor Wolkamere, summa cum laude. Edgar Zamano, summa cum laude. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Maintenance, Logan Collins. Colin Caruso Cortez. Jackson Andrew Elliott, summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Angelina Grant. Luke Delmar Webb, summa cum laude. This begins the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science in Aeronautics, Darius Campbell. Yara Maylene DeFries, Alpha Sigma Lambda. This begins the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science in Aviation Maintenance, Brandon Michael Stringer. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering, Marcus Lee. This concludes the undergraduate degrees from the College of Aviation.
Dr. Warnock Smith, will you please come to the podium to present the undergraduate candidates from the College of Business?
Will the candidates for bachelor's and associate degrees from the College of Business please rise? Dr. Wattret, it is my honour to present the candidates for the College of Business bachelor's and associate degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Business Administration, Brian Adams. Alina Burgash, cum laude. Alberto Carlos Hinke, summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Jerry Isaac Sanders. Sarah Nicole Valdivia. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Aquiles dos Santos Adams. Jordan Adelinson. Noah Sterling Burris. Oluwatosin Samuel Fatuashi, magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Jaleesa Marie Farrell, cum laude. Kaylee Marie Podmilsack. Austin Andrew Richardson. Aaron N. Teta, cum laude. Porter Tompkins IV. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Project Management. Jacob Anibal Garcia, magna cum laude. Kyle L. Luttich. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Technical Management. Derek Adam Grossman, summa cum laude. Ryan Flores, summa cum laude. John Mikhail Huerta. Aisha Ward, magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. This begins the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science in Technical Management. Ryan William King. This concludes the undergraduate degrees from the College of Business. This also concludes the presentation of undergraduate degrees.
Graduates, families, and guests, the moment you've all been waiting for has arrived. Dr. Watret, will you please join me at the podium? Will all graduate candidates from the colleges please rise and remain standing? Dr. Watret, these candidates have completed all the requirements associated with their degree programs. With the recommendation of the faculty of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, I am pleased to present them to you for conferring of the degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, as appropriate, the Master of Science degree, the Master degree, the Bachelor of Science degree, and the Associate of Science degree, with all rights, privileges, honours, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Graduates, you may now move your tassel to the left side of your mortarboard, symbolising your new status as a graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the alma mater by the acapellas.
Eagles gather near, we lift our voices loud and clear, soaring high, O alma mater, threads of blue and gold. United we soar in vast open skies. Embry-Riddle, we hail thee, great memories will hold. So here's to you, old DRAU, alma mater true. We pledge in love and harmony our loyalty to you. Singing thy praise, remembering the days, coast to coast around the world, our bond forever true, embracing our dreams with pride far and wide. Embry-Riddle, we hail thee, great memories will hold. So here's to you, old DRAU, alma mater true. We pledge in love and harmony our loyalty to you.
We are delighted that all of you could be here today to share in this special occasion. Please remain standing for the closing benediction. But first, I think this is befitting of this moment for you graduates. It was 2015, and I was introduced to Ozzie and Harriet. Ozzie and Harriet became an internet sensation. They were on the internet day and night. They were preparing their home for the arrival of two little infants. Ozzie and Harriet were eagles. They had a nest in South Florida, and we watched. My wife made me watch for 42 days these little eggs in this nest. And then the day came, they were hatched. And for the next 8 weeks, we watched as Ozzie and Harriet fed them, nurtured them, and took care of them, much like your staff and your faculty. Then came the dreadful day. I came home, my wife was in tears. You see, Ozzie had pushed the two little eaglets out of the nest. It's called fledging. And today, we get to fledge you. We are pushing you out of the nest so that you can spread your eagle's wings and fly as high as you can and make your alma mater proud. We appreciate you and we congratulate you. And now, as we leave this place, may the eternal love enfold us. May spiritual power strengthen us, and may strong hands comfort us, and may we be carried on eagle's wings until we meet again. Amen.
This concludes the commencement ceremony this evening. Family and friends, please be seated. We ask that you please remain seated until the platform party, faculty, and all graduates have exited. Thank you.